Hello, this is a video I've been wanting to make for a while. It's about the lifestyle, sort of how I deal with being a parent, and a working person, and combining that and sort of the everyday kind of stuff. And I guess the only way to do that is just by talking. I thought about making something a bit fancier, but here we are at one of my favorite places here in Gothenburg. The backyard of a university building in an old residential area which was long ago bought out by the city and became university housings, but it's empty, so we are here and picking flowers and climbing steps and just having a great time. And that's what you can do when you're self-employed. And being a Monday is a good thing for me because everything gets back to work again. The weekends are always, things are closed, everything is going slower. Oh, she's going out of the gate. Come back in. Hi, Savrat. And being a Monday, and the first part of the day I'm always with her, especially when my wife is working, and she's working in a castle. Okay, I have to chase her back and forth here a bit. Just gonna close the gate. And she's not at the kindergarten. We will not have her there until she is able to talk. And what I found the difference between Sweden and Bosnia and Croatia is that here in Sweden kids are like sent to kindergartens. They can be like 3-4 months. We in our family are a bit not against that, but just basically, you're a tribe, you want to bond, you want to have time for each other. So I kind of have comments on when people say that, yeah, it's gonna be so good to get back to work, to sort of get away from the baby or something. It's sad, especially when mothers do that. I mean, I understand it's good to have something else to do. I mean, my wife is working, I'm working, but that kind of attitude I think is wrong, and I think it's being cultivated into our society through school, and it starts in the kindergarten where kids learn from other kids. So when a kid gets back home and does something wrong, or like violent, or maybe has a bruise or something, you never know what happened because they can't talk. And the only reason kindergartens exist are just because the people are working. You have to have a place for kids, and the same attitude I have for schools. 12 years of schooling, when you can learn all of that within half a year if you're just going on an intensive way about it. And where was I going? Yeah, so she and our kids basically will go to kindergartens and stuff when they can talk. And until then, we're gonna have fun, just doing whatever we feel, going to museums, having picnics, shooting longbow, going out on road trips. And those things are not that expensive, really. It's just when you have the time, you can do all that. And of course we spend time with other kids, but the reason I don't film other kids on this channel is because privacy reasons. I don't want to have somebody else's kid on public like this. Maybe indirectly, but not directly, And even if it was okay for the parents or something, maybe they will not feel it's okay later on when they hear some other opinions presented on the channel. I don't know. And so that's my day. I'm hanging out with her, we're having a good time, and in the evening I sort of prepare my home office and such, and do work late because I always been a night owl, and basically live my life the way I wanted it to. And the reason why it works now, even when I'm a family man, is because I've seen other people making it possible. So basically, I just want to share some thoughts on that and just add the drips in the cup of that kind of information for to exist there. Because I mean, 99% of the time people say that time goes fast, you know, there's no time, you know, the kids are tiring out, or it's stressful this or stressful that. No, it can be fantastic. Earth is a paradise. And yeah, so I talked about we don't go to kindergarten with her. Eventually we will do that, perhaps not, we'll see. We like to spend time together, and we are both working, so yeah, both me and my wife. Yeah, this is funny. You want to get out? Hem se vrat, Florence. Yeah. And that's the way we've been having it. And God willing, it will be like that in the future, because there is no more fantastic way to educate yourself, especially, and your kids, than by going out, getting out there, letting them become exposed to various situations and real life events. Just one bit I missed. People often ask, oh, does your kid go to kindergarten? I say no. And then they always sort of politely want to sort of basically justify their own choices by saying, yeah, it's good for socializing, you know, to learn social experiences. But in my opinion, I mean, that's the most that's the easiest thing you can do. It's like living alone, you know. Everybody can cook and clean their own flat. So I guess when you don't have a choice, you have to sort of tell yourself. But schools and kindergartens are just places where kids learn from other kids, not from the older and wiser, and there are very few old and wise in those departments, those institutions. I don't want to sound like you know, I'm not negative about it, it's just my observation, and I am not bashing anything, I'm just doing it my way. So yeah, I think it's very healthy for kids to be exposed to all ages, all knowledge, and be treated like individuals. Just to cut off this video with this idea, you know, back in the days of Leonardo da Vinci, or medieval times, or 18th century, whatever, I mean, people went to war when they were 14, 15, they were working, they were doing, you know, adult stuff, and today people barely have a job when they are 30. And that has to do with the system. I'm not blaming any individual people here. I mean, we're all in this together. But I want to take my responsibility and try to foster my kids to be Renaissance kind of people with a thick skin, and so on. That was that video. I hope it gave some information and insight. Yeah, I just had the time to do this, and she's having fun at this place. It's really a nice place, but it's really not used. So I always come here to, you know, drink a cup of coffee or have a picnic, and we come here together as a family. And people used to live in this quarter. It's an old aristocratic quarter, but you know, when the century shifted to the 20th century, aristocracy was on the decline, so people didn't find the money to fund this, and yeah, the city bought it up. Now it's kind of a mix of university buildings and offices. Quite cozy atmosphere. I love these kind of places because they preserve the authentic sort of style of building, as you can see, and with the gardens and stuff. I'm not so much into modernism, really, and especially modern art. Let's ciao. Ciao. Mwah. Ciao. Hi. Okay. Until next time, take care and all the best.